day.
Let's go back into the courtroom now. The jury is hearing from a forensic nurse examiner, still on direct.
And based on your training experience, are there certain symptoms you would expect to see from a patient who may have had pressure applied to their neck?
Yes.
And what are some of those symptoms?
Difficulty speaking. They could have change in their voice, memory loss, difficulty breathing, loss of consciousness, pain in the neck, some bruising, abrasions, bleeding from the eyes and nose, nausea, vomiting. There could be incontinence of the bowel and bladder, things like that.
And all those symptoms that you described, do you see that in every patient that you conduct a strangulation exam on?
No.
Okay, and why is that?
Everybody's different. Everybody presents differently, and sometimes you could have significant amount of injuries, and others you could see nothing visibly, but there could be some internal injuries. It's just case by case.
Okay. Your Honor, permission to approach the witness.
You may.
Ms. Rivas, I've handed you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 82. If you could look at that exhibit and let me know when you're done looking through it. And Ms. Rivas, do you recognize Exhibit 82?
Yes.
And what is Exhibit 82?
It's my documentation of my strangulation exam with Fatima.
Okay. And would it help refresh your recollection in answering some questions? Let me rephrase my question. Would it help refresh your recollection to review and to read from your report in answering certain questions that will be asked?
Yes.
Okay.
You have permission to review your report if you are unable to answer the question directly to help refresh your recollection.
Thank you.
And Ms. Rivas, as part of the strangulation exam, do you, you indicated that you do a head-to-toe exam, but you also testify that you would ask the patient about their symptoms and concerns. As part of, in addition to those things, do you also ask the patient to sort of describe in their own words about what happened during a strangulation episode?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of asking the patient about having them relate to you what had occurred?
To help drive my exam and the areas that I need to focus on.
Okay. And in this case, did you ask Fatima to sort of describe to you in her own words what she remembered happening?
Yes.
Okay. And did she in fact tell you what had occurred during the incident?
Yes.
Okay. And if you could, would it please, well, let me ask you this. What did Fatima tell you about what had occurred during the alleged strangulation incident?
She told me a lot, but
Miss Rivas, I'm specifically asking you about what Fatima indicated occurred that resulted in, if any, pressure applied to her neck.
She reported to me that she was grabbed by her sweatshirt and placed in a headlock.
Okay, and did she indicate who grabbed her by her sweatshirt and placed her in a headlock?
Yes.
And who was that?
Her dad.
Okay. And what did she say? Did she tell you what happened after being placed in a headlock by her dad?
That she lost consciousness.
Okay. Does she tell you anything else that she remembers seeing or hearing?
Could you elaborate on that question?
Sure. So you indicated that she was grabbed by her sweatshirt and that she was placed in the headlock, and you indicated she lost consciousness. Did she say anything else about what she remembers seeing right before, or right after losing consciousness?
She reported that she felt dizzy.
Okay.
She reported some numbness.
Okay. Did she also indicate anything about what had occurred with her mom as part of the strangulation exam?
Yes.
And what did she say?
She said that her mom grabbed her, put her hands on her neck.
Okay. And did Fatima indicate to you that when her mom did that, what, if anything, did she do?
She asked her to stop.
Okay. And Ms. Rivas, you testified that as part of the exam, you will ask the patient about any reported symptoms they have. In this case, did you ask Fatima whether she had a headache at any point?
Yes.
And what was her response?
Yes. She had a headache.
Okay, and did she indicate whether she had the headache during the alleged strangulation, afterwards, or during the time of the exam?
May I reference my...
Yes.
You may.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor.
She reported a headache after.
Okay. And what about feeling dizziness or lightheaded? Did you ask Fatima whether she felt dizzy or lightheaded at any point?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She reported she felt dizzy and lightheaded after.
Okay. And when you say after, are you referring to after the alleged incident?
Correct.
Okay. And then did you also ask Fatima whether or not she had loss of consciousness during the incident?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She reported she lost consciousness during the incident, yes.
Okay. And then what about any memory loss? What does she report about memory loss, if any?
She reported that she was having some memory difficulties.
During the incident, afterwards, or during the time of the exam?
During the incident.
Okay. And what if, did she provide you with any other details about memory loss during the incident?
May I?
You may. You have ongoing permission
Ongoing,
to refer to your report.
Thank you. She reported...
All right, we're going to slip in a commercial break. We'll get you back into the courtroom for more testimony right after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to Court TV Live along with Julia Janae. I'm Ted Rollins. Our focus this afternoon is on the state of Washington, where it's day 4 of the attempted honor killing trial.
The prosecution there has charged these two parents, Ihsan Ali and his wife Zahraa, and they say that they both committed second-degree attempted murder, that they attempted to kill their teenage daughter Fatima right in front of her high school near a bus stop.
We're listening to testimony from a forensic nurse examiner. Let's go back into the courtroom.
She reported fuzzy feeling like her whole life was flashing before her eyes.
Okay. And then what about confusion or agitation? Does she report having any confusion as part of this incident?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She had confusion during and after.
Okay. And what about any weakness or numbness? Does she report any weakness or numbness as part of this incident?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She had weakness and numbness during the strangulation.
Okay. And what about vision changes?
Yes.
And what was her response?
That she had visual changes during the exam. That everything was getting darker and darker.
Okay. And when you say, I'm trying to see clarification. You indicated that Fatima indicated that she had vision changes during the exam?
I'm sorry, during the strangulation. Correction.
And did she report whether she had any blood coming from her ear, nose, or mouth?
She did not report any, and I did not observe any.
Okay. And then what about any ringing in her ears?
She did report ringing in her ears after the strangulation.
Okay. And then what about neck pain? Did she report having any neck pain?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She had neck pain during, after, and at the time of the exam.
Okay. And then did she report whether she had a sore throat as it relates to the incident?
She did.
And what was her response?
That she had a sore throat after and at the time of the exam.
Okay. And what about any difficulty swallowing?
She reported that she had difficulty swallowing after and during the exam.
Okay. And did she report whether she had any pain with swallowing as it relates to this incident?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She did have it after and during my exam.
Okay. And then what about any voice changes or hoarseness?
She did have hoarse changes and voice, yes.
Okay. And was that, at what point does she have the voice change or hoarseness in her voice?
She reported after.
Okay. And then does she report whether she had any hyperventilation as part of this incident?
Yes, she did.
And what was her response?
After the strangulation.
Okay. And what about difficulty breathing? Does she report having any difficulty breathing?
Yes, she did report difficulty breathing.
Okay. Was it at what point?
After and during our exam.
And when you say after, are you referring to after the exam or after the incident?
After the incident.
Okay. And then does she indicate whether she had pain in any other areas of her body?
She reported pain on her left shoulder and her left hip.
Okay. And as part of the examination process, when a patient comes to you and indicate that they believe that they have been strangled, do you also ask them questions about, from their own standpoint, the sort of the level of pressure that they felt that was applied to their neck area?
Yes.
Okay. And when you ask the question, is the estimated level of pressure on a scale, or how is that? How do you ask about that question?
It's based on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the worst.
Okay. And then did you ask Fatima that question?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She said it was a 5 out of 5.
Okay. And did she indicate what her estimated length of time was as it relates to the pressure that was applied to her neck?
I'm going to reference my notes. She said about 5 minutes.
Okay. And as part of that examination process, does she, you ask her questions about, ask her related to her dad. Does she also make any statements about what, if anything, her mom did to her during the incident?
That she put her hands on her neck.
Okay. And did she also indicate what she was feeling or thinking was going to happen to her during the alleged strangulation?
She thought she was.
Overrule.
She thought she was going to die.
Okay. And Ms. Rivas, you talked about earlier with regards to the strangulation exam that part of it involves sort of a visual head-to-toe exam. Did you do that in this case with Fatima?
Yes.
Okay. And did you also document your observations in your report?
Yes.
Okay. And when you did the examination, well, let me ask you this question. When Fatima first arrived at the ER, did she have clothes on?
Yes.
Okay. And then as part of the examination process, did you, was her clothes left on or did they have to come off?
No, I asked my patients to put a gown on, a hospital gown.
And you testified that as part of the head-to-toe exam, you described the process in which you would conduct the head-to-toe exam. Did you follow that same procedure and process in this case with Fatima?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
What this nurse is testifying to says a lot for the prosecution's case. It's exactly what this victim was sharing not too long after it all happened. Let's bring in our trial attorney who's standing by. Gabriel Sepulveda Sanchez is with us. Gabriel, what are your thoughts on this case?
Yeah, you have to show they're trying to. These are serious charges, second-degree murder of your daughter, and the thing to remember about second-degree murder is that you still have to show intent to kill. First-degree murder, there's planning, there's premeditation, there's a lot of thought that goes behind it. Second-degree murders, you need evidence that you intended to kill this person, even though it wasn't planned. Your actions and your intent was, I'm gonna end this person's life. Those are serious allegations. Those are serious charges. And what the reason the prosecutor is putting this witness on is because they're trying to show the jury that this wasn't just a way to control or subdue their daughter. She was experiencing symptoms of unconsciousness, blacking out, pain in your throat, all these different things that show that this wasn't just a headlock to control your daughter. He had intent to end her life and to cut off oxygen to her brain, which could more likely than not the intent was to kill her in that moment. So they're trying to show that this wasn't just an accident. This wasn't just him trying to control his daughter. This was like, I'm going to end. The prosecutor's trying to show the jury that he had intent to end her life right there. So that's why you're getting all these symptoms out about the strangulation and what she experienced during that time her father was subduing her. It's still tough.
Gabriel,
it depends how the
I got a
jury
question
feels
for
about
you,
it.
Because you said him, and that's kind of what we are all focused on, him and his. What about her? She's facing attempted murder. The mom. How does that work?
You're going to have to show that there's some compliance or a conspiracy to commit this murder. That's a tough case. The fact that they're being tried in the same trial too, I don't know what their thoughts are behind that. But there's difficulty when you have two different co-defendants because a jury may bring, they may attribute liability to her just because she's associated with her. My thoughts were I would really beg for a different trial, and so I'm not associated with the acts of the husband in this case. There's got to be some evidence. There's got to be some text messages, some compliance, some agreement, some sort of agreement between them to both take these actions and that there was some sort of joint, like an accomplice liability theory, that they both agreed to kill their daughter in that moment. And I don't know if they have enough there. I don't like the fact that they're trying to both together. I think I would really ask for a separate, if I was a defense attorney, I would want a separate trial, but they know the case better than I do in this moment. So
yeah, you're highlighting a really good contradiction, because you said initially they charged second-degree murder because they don't have to prove planning and intent and premeditation. In that way, they do have to show an intent to kill. But for the mother to be part of it, it seemed that there would have to be some kind of pre-planning, talking together conspiracy just for them to get to second-degree murder on her regard.
We'll see. All right, let's go to break. When we come back,
Gabriel.
we'll get you back into the courtroom for more testimony. Stay with us.
Tonight, on Closing Arguments, a Georgia teenager charged with killing her mother and stepfather. Her grandfather speaks with Court TV, giving his insight into the investigation.
Closing Arguments, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Convicted killer Brian Kohberger will learn his fate for murdering 4 Idaho college students
and come face to face with the families of his victims.
The sentencing of Brian Kohberger, Wednesday morning, only on Court TV.
Let's get you right back inside of that courtroom where we are watching day 4 of the attempted honor killing trial for Ihsan Ali and his wife, Zahraa Ali.
They are both charged with attempted murder after allegedly trying to kill their daughter, Fatima. Witnesses say that after finding their daughter with her boyfriend, that's when it all began. Ihsan placed his daughter in a chokehold. She lost consciousness. Right now we're listening to testimony from a forensic nurse examiner detailing the injuries and her examination of the alleged victim in the case. Let's listen.
Rivas, I'm showing you what's been admitted as Exhibit 67. Can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
Fatima.
Okay. And when you first arrived at the emergency room, was Fatima already there?
Yes.
Okay, and was that when you first saw her? Is this basically her appearance?
Yes.
Exhibit 68. Can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
A closer up of her face.
Okay. And what is the purpose of taking sort of photographs of the patient's whole body or their face?
Reference and baseline.
What do you mean by reference and baseline?
A reference when we document injuries, and then appearance if there's any issues with like anything different with their clothes, and then a close up of her face.
Okay, close up. What's the purpose of taking a photo of close up of her face?
Just for documentation purposes.
Okay. Exhibit 69. Can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
The debris in her hair.
Okay. Exhibit 70. Can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
An abrasion on her neck.
Okay, and I'm pointing to this area that is sort of in the semi-upper portion of the center of the image. What are we looking at here?
A linear abrasion.
Okay. Exhibit 71. What are we looking at in this photograph?
The right side of her face, to just as a reference,
Okay.
and the area around her eye.
Okay. And when you say the area around her eye, what is the purpose of taking a photograph of the area around her eye?
To document abnormal findings.
Okay. And did you have abnormal findings around the area of her eye?
Yes.
Showing you Exhibit 72, can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
Small red circular spots on her, around her eyes.
Okay. And when you say small red circular spots, are you referring to these, to this area that is in the middle of the image?
Yes.
Okay. And what were those small red dots?
They can be indicative of petechiae.
Okay. And what is petechiae?
Petechiae is the small, less than 3 millimeter spots that are indicative of like capillary rupture.
Okay. Exhibit 73, can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
Her neck, an abrasion.
Okay. And when you say abrasion, are you referring to this line that is in the middle of the image?
Correct.
Okay. And is there also discoloration that is surrounding the abrasion here?
Yes.
Exhibit 74, can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
A close-up of the neck and the abrasions on the neck.
Okay. And we sort of see you have what looks like a ruler that is going through the, going down the right-hand side of the image and then going across the bottom of the image. What's the purpose of having that ruler there?
To reference the length of the abrasions.
Okay. Exhibit 75, can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
Abrasions.
Okay. And is there, we see here in the sort of the center of the photograph, the coloration is different than compared to the rest of her skin tone. Is that discoloration on her neck area as well?
Yes.
Exhibit 76. Can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph? Let me zoom it out.
Close-up of the previous photo documenting the length with the ruler of the abrasion.
Okay. And is this on her left side of her neck or on her right, on the right side of her neck?
Right.
Okay. Exhibit 77. Can you tell the jury what you're trying to document in this photograph? And then zoom in for you.
Abrasions.
Okay. And is this on the left side of her neck or on her right side?
The left side.
All right, we have to slip on a break. We have reached the top of the hour, but our thanks to Gabriel Sepulveda Sanchez for his analysis this hour. When we come back, we'll have more from this forensic nurse on the stand detailing those injuries, and we'll see how she handles cross-examination.
She reported to me that she was grabbed by her sweatshirt and placed in a headlock.
Okay. And does she indicate who grabbed her by her sweatshirt and placed her in the headlock?
Yes.
And who was that?
Her dad. She reported that she felt dizzy.
Okay.
She reported some numbness.
Okay. Did she also indicate anything about what had occurred with her mom as part of the strangulation exam?
Yes.
And what did she say?
She said that her mom grabbed her, put her hands on her neck. She reported fuzzy feeling like her whole life was flashing before her eyes.
Well, welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julia Janae. Thank you for following along with us this afternoon. That was a forensic nurse on the stand in our attempted honor killing trial for Ihsan and Zahraa Ali happening in Washington State. And she's talking about these injuries. And the question for this jury will be, does it point to a chokehold or attempted murder? The two parents are charged with attempted murder for allegedly trying to kill their daughter Fatima on October 18th of last year. They tracked her down outside of a bus stop with her boyfriend after she had run away earlier that day. And both Fatima and her boyfriend have now testified. They say Ihsan punched the boyfriend and that he then placed his daughter in a chokehold until she was pale and lifeless. Multiple bystanders captured this incident on video, including a bus driver's vehicle. Now, Fatima was admitted to the hospital for several days with visible scratches on the side of her neck, and she told police that initially she believed her parents were trying to force her into an arranged marriage, but she didn't say that later when she spoke to police again. And this term has been prohibited from being used during this trial because the judge felt it would be too prejudicial for this jury. So let's get you back inside of the courtroom now, pick it up where we left off. We're listening to that forensic nurse examiner who was able to treat Fatima.
Exhibit 78. Can you tell the jury what they're looking at in this photograph?
The left side of her neck, abrasions.
Okay. And when you say abrasions, are you referring to sort of this circular line that is running down sort of the center of the image?
Yes.
And is there also discoloration surrounding the abrasion?
Yes.
Exhibit 79. Can you tell the jury what is depicted in this photograph?
The ruler to measure and reference the left abrasions.
Okay. Exhibit 80. Can you tell the jury what is being depicted in this photograph?
Fatima's left shoulder.
Okay. And what are you trying to document with regards to this photograph?
The abrasions.
Okay. Exhibit 81. Can you tell the jury what is being depicted in this photograph?
Her left shoulder.
Okay.
Abrasions.
And is there also discoloration that is being depicted in the center of the photograph?
Yes.
No further questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.